Thank you, Mr. President. And thank you, Special Envoy Grunberg and Ms. Woazornu, for your briefings. Colleagues, Houthi threats to maritime security and commercial shipping sadly continue to demand our attention. The number of countries affected by this destabilizing behavior increases each day, and this has truly become a global challenge. While there has been sustained and widespread international condemnation of the Houthis' illegal and reckless attacks, we cannot afford to become complacent. This condemnation must continue, and the chorus of voices must grow as the Houthis continue to escalate attacks, including the deplorable sinking of the MV Rubimar and tragic deaths of 3 civilian mariners on the MV True Confidence. This type of activity led the United States to designate Ansar Allah, commonly known as the Houthis, as a specially designated global terrorist, which came into effect on February 16. But we cannot take on this challenge alone. Houthi attacks affect every member state, and this continued escalation and destabilization risk global commerce in every corner of the globe. And so it is vital we speak with one voice in rejecting Houthi efforts to interfere with the exercise of navigational rights and freedoms in the Red Sea and the Gulf of Aden. We must also reiterate our demand that the Houthis immediately release the crew of the MV Galaxy Leader. The Houthis have absolutely no legitimate reason or lawful basis to hold them. The United States appreciates those council members who have joined our proposed press statement, co-penned with Japan, that condemns the Houthis' latest attacks in the strongest possible terms and demands the Houthis cease their attacks in accordance with Resolution 2722. The press statement also underscores the Council's concern regarding the foreign origin of weapons used by the Houthis and the apparent violations of the arms embargo that have occurred. The statement further underscores the Council's support for a strong and effective United Nations verification and inspection mechanism for Yemen, or UNVIM. We look forward to speaking with UNVIM representatives immediately following this session about ways to strengthen UNVIM's capacity to inspect a broader range of vessels bound for Houthi-controlled ports, ensuring compliance with the arms embargo and preventing the import of weapons. UNVIM also plays a critical role in facilitating the flow of essential goods into Yemen, thereby helping mitigate the dire economic and humanitarian crises facing the country. Of course, it is no secret that Iran provides weapons to the Houthis in violation of the UN arms embargo. And so, we repeat our call for Iran to stop the weapons transfers and other activities that help facilitate Houthi attacks in the Red Sea. Before the Houthis' recent escalation, ordinary Yemenis were beginning to see a way back to stability through a durable ceasefire and an inclusive, UN-led Yemeni political process. The Houthis risk throwing this progress away. And let me be clear, the Houthis' actions do nothing to alleviate hardships facing the Yemeni people, much less help meet the needs of Palestinian civilians in Gaza. In fact, Houthi propaganda now even suggests that they would continue these attacks even after a ceasefire in Gaza. What's more, these attacks make it increasingly difficult to deliver humanitarian assistance to other suffering people, including those in Sudan. And so, we must condemn these attacks in the Red Sea for what they are, part of a long-term strategy to project power and distract from domestic problems. The United States wholeheartedly shares the Yemeni people's aspirations for a better future, one that guarantees respect for their human rights and fundamental freedoms. We continue to believe constructive engagement on the UN roadmap remains a better path, one that could hopefully lead to a durable end to the conflict and address Yemeni calls for justice, accountability, and redress for human rights abuses and violations. Thank you, Mr. President.